Amid all the rumors, the Toronto Raptors right the ship against the Denver Nuggets. The 9-game losing streak is over after a dominant performance from start to finish. 135-111 is your score. The Raptors record now 18-26 on the year. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Raptors Night Cap. Randy Urban alongside Sherman Hamilton, Paul Jones, and the coach, Jack Armstrong. Jack, first things first, historic night in sports media with an all-women broadcast tonight on TSN. Just a remarkable job by all the ladies.
Oh, it was wonderful. And very proud of the whole crew. I think it was really cool. Megan and Kia and Kate, Kayla, and then just Amy, the whole, it was just really cool. It was just really cool and just a fun night. And hey, look, you look at the growth of the ladies game, and I'm married to a former women's coach. My wife was a Division I women's soccer coach, head coach, and she was also a Division I women's basketball assistant. So I understand. She was laughing with me. She was like, man, I wish this could have happened 30 years ago, and so it's really cool. And obviously, Sherm, you have 2 daughters, and Jonesy, you have a daughter. So it's just a really cool night.
I like the fact, Randy, that as Jack said, as Jack's wife, Dina, was saying that 30 years ago, this didn't happen. And, I've got kids that grew up around sports. I mean, my daughter, my oldest child, came to her first Raptor game when she was 5 months old. We put earmuffs on her, and she was watching games in the Dome. And like I said, I've said this before, I wasn't happier for anybody but her when the Raptors won a championship, because she'd go to school and the kids would tease her about how bad the team was. And she's getting the last laugh, and she's been tweeting out tonight, this is great. She wants to break into the business now. Mm-hmm. She's writing. So this is good. It's something you can see it, so you can touch it. So I was in here tonight. I didn't hear the broadcast, but talked with Kia and Megan as they were preparing. Have worked with Amy. So I just think it's great all around.
Well, it was special. I mean, I got an opportunity to sit with my daughter and watch the game. And, she was watching history, and we talked about it. And it was just a great moment for me being her father, and for her as a young Black girl growing up and seeing these women do this job that she's seen her father do for almost 20 years. So mm-hmm. I just think it was great for a lot of people, not just girls, but in general, just get an understanding that these women can do it. Don't mm-hmm. play with them. They can do it. They can get the job done. So it was a special night.
Well, great night for everyone, and great night for the Raps, Jack. Well, whatever was going on before the game with the Siakam situation, the trade rumors, it looked like something was worked out in the locker room before this one. They came out firing and, more importantly, hitting.
It was amazing. Yeah, I can't remember the game. I think the Raptors were on the other side of it, Sherman, Jonesy. We talked about, there's a certain number of games you play a year where no matter what you do, you're going to get blown out. And then there's a certain number of games that you play out of your mind. Like tonight, the Raptors just played out of their mind, and the Denver Nuggets couldn't have been any worse. But to see the Raptors break a franchise record tonight, their ball movement, their shot making was just insane. It was just absolutely insane. It was so much fun. It was like a video game tonight. I don't even know where to begin. All I'll say is just like, wow.
I like the first quarter, Jack, Sherman, Randy. They came out with energy. They were aggressive, but what I liked was the multiple efforts on the defensive end. And, I've talked about this. We kind of saw this when people were talking about, and I don't know why the conversation happened so early, but people had Luka Doncic in their MVP conversation when Dallas played Toronto. I wasn't impressed with the way he played. Jokic is a guy that people are talking about now. I don't think he totally fits the bill defensively. He's a marvelous offensive player. I thought the Raptors played with pace, made him, to borrow Sherm's phrase, made him change ends of the court. He wasn't that effective. They double teamed him, deflected passes, caused him to turn it over. They were gang rebounding against him. I mean, he had 20, 10, and 5 tonight, and they were hollow numbers because this team, Denver, was really never in the game. So Toronto came out, they hit first. and they kept hitting all night. And I think that's why they came away with the win.
You know, I saw a blueprint of a Raptor team that got back to their identity, you know, a team that understood that it starts on the defensive end. And when they turn people over, they're very confident offensively. They can get out in transition. They can knock it down from the three-point line or get to the basket. So to me, it was one of those games where they knew Denver would be tired and they jumped on them and they got it done the right way. Now, they were hot from the three-point line. And as Jack mentioned, there are many nights this season where we've seen teams come in and burn their nets down, knocking down threes. So it was good to see the Raptors have that kind of game. But I just think that, you know, you've got to make sure that a team that's coming in a situation like this doesn't get a second win, doesn't get confidence, doesn't feel like they can get some energy into their game. And I thought the Raptors, if you want to use a boxing term, just gave the Denver Nuggets, especially Jokic, a ton of body blows and just wore them down to the point where the hands dropped. Then it was a field day on their heads.
Jack, I really like Siakam tonight. 16 in the quarter. He looked as smooth and decisive as I've seen him all season long.
You know, and I'll say this about Pascal and Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby. You know, they sat out a number of games. I think conditioning is a factor too. I really do. And I, you know, you look at him tonight, he finally looked like he had his legs under him and he had explosiveness to his game. OG Anunoby was marvelous. Obviously, he didn't play Monday night against Houston. He looked fresh. And I think a lot of this is just fitness. And this is totally beyond their control. You know, these guys didn't want to be out of the lineup for a while. But the fact that you are, I think, has a dramatic negative impact on your ability to stay fit and to stay at the highest level that you used to being at. So to me, I mean, Siakam was flying all over the building, explosive, shooting it with confidence, playing with great energy defensively. I mean, he had some mojo, he had some juice to his game tonight. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that just he's starting to feel better physically about himself again.
Well, Jonesy, lots of rumors coming into this one, and that can't be easy, especially with a group that's so tight knit, that's you know performed at such a high level here for the last few years, and yet they played like there was nothing wrong, and especially Kyle Lowry, and just if this was his last game, first of all, what do you make of the rumors? And if this was his last game as a Raptor, just put into words, you know, what he's meant to this franchise and the career that he's had as a Toronto Raptor.
If it was his last game, it was typical Kyle. Like I think he was 8, 9, and 5. And don't measure his impact by numbers. It's his imprint on the game and the way he plays. And I've used this phrase for years about Kyle Lowry in Toronto. He supplies the requisite energy. He supplies the energy for the team, and all the guys feed off him. And that's leadership. It's not necessarily, oh, take a guy out to dinner and put your arm around him. Sometimes leadership is getting out there, putting your jam on the court and saying, listen, boys, this is what we need to do. And Kyle always does that. And I think that's what's going to, you know, that's what typifies him as a leader and as a Raptor. And look, Toronto is a blue collar kind of town, and they, whether it be in hockey or in football, or they love those guys that roll up their sleeves and get down and dirty and give it to you every night. And that's Kyle Lowry, and that's what he's meant to this city, and that's why people gravitate towards him and they love him. But they understand now, after going through the DeMar thing, they understand that if he's ready to go, he gets treated with the respect he deserves. If it's a good deal and it's going to give him a chance to vie for a title, he's given us everything he has here. He's given us, he's laid it out there every night. If he says, I'd like to try and get one somewhere else, you say, okay, we'll leave a key under the mat for you when it's time to come back.
I just want to make one quick point. You know, you look at a team like Denver tonight. There's so many teams around the league like Denver. Now, Denver obviously has won a lot of games, but quite frankly, I don't see that team ever getting to the NBA Finals. You know who would make them a much better team? Kyle Lowry. You know, you look at the Phoenix Suns, what Chris Paul's doing for them right now, and there's a lot of teams that are on the edge. I mean, Jonesy, you and I were chatting about this when they played the Chicago Bulls a few weeks ago. You put Kyle Lowry on the Chicago Bulls, They'd have a winning team. They'd be a playoff team. They have a lot of talent, but they don't have enough competitive juice and leadership and toughness. And there's a lot of teams in this league that are lacking that. And again, Denver's going to win a lot of games. And Jonesy made the point about Jokic. Some of that's empty calories. And to me, Kyle Lowry's not empty calories. And forget stats. And sorry to jump in there, Sherman, but I just had to say that.
Sure.
No,
Yeah,
you're
go
fine,
ahead.
Jack. This is one of the worst times of the year in the NBA for me because I don't like talking about rumors and what may happen and what may not happen. And to be honest, until Kyle is moved, I'm not ready to spew his Raptor eulogy. I mean, this guy's still playing and he's still doing a great job. And to be honest with you, you look at the way he played tonight and you just get the feeling like he's just going to do what he has to do until something changes. So I'm just
True
not
pro.
that person that likes talking about exactly, Jack. I'm just not that person who wants to talk about the what ifs. I'll talk about the when it happens, and then I'm good to go.
Randall,
Under a
I've
minute,
always
guys.
said this.
Under a minute.
I've always said this. If there's a basketball game going on, I want Kyle Lowry on my team, not the
No
other
question.
team. I want him on my team. So, and I'm okay if there's with all the rumors. I'm okay if there's no moves made because I've seen what this team can do. Are they a championship team? Probably not, but you never know. Get in the dance, get on the dance floor and see what happens. And they are very capable when they're healthy and everybody's in shape. So if there's no move made, I'm good with that too.
Hey, I've broken into a lot of clubs back in the day. And believe me, when I got on the floor, I danced.
Yes.
For free.
Sure, I would pay a lot of money to see you kick it.
You're not ready for that, Herb. A lot of people aren't.
All right, guys. I appreciate you doing this. Next up for the Raptors, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. against the Suns. See you then.
Thanks for watching. You can click to watch our last episode or to subscribe to the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode.